Caitlin Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA. We've seen the animus directed at Caitlin Clark all year. Ever be the biggest star in American sports was assaulted 2 minutes into the game on a dirty play with one of these women with these long fake fingernails that stabbed her in the eye. But damn it, in the first 2 minutes of this game, this Dejanay Carrington stabbed Caitlin Clark with her fingernails right in the eye.
You won't believe what's happening in the WNBA. Caitlin Clark, the rookie sensation, is getting hit left and right. But here's the crazy part. It's not just about the game. Some players are trying to make her look bad on purpose. What's going on here? Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much.
The fact that the Michael Jordan of the WNBA was assaulted has a black eye during the second half of the game because Dejanay Carrington stabbed her with her fingernails in the eye. Dejanay has a history with Caitlin Clark, like many of these girls in the WNBA, but she's at the top of the list along with Kennedy Carter in Chicago and Angel Reese. That's not a natural act of you contest a shot and then all of a sudden your hand turns downwards and straight into the eye of the biggest star in the WNBA.
Now, back to the video, let's talk about Caitlin's start. She came into the WNBA like a firework, drafted first overall by the Indiana Fever. Everyone thought she'd light up the league, and she did, but then things got weird. Suddenly, it's like there's a target on her back. Players are getting extra rough, and not just on the court. And you know what's crazier? This isn't just about Caitlin anymore. It's about the whole WNBA. Imagine this, a league where the best new talent gets bullied instead of celebrated. That's insane, right? And here's the thing, Caitlin's not backing down. She's facing challenges left and right, but she's not giving up. How will she handle it all? You'll have to stay tuned to find out. Things are heating up on and off the court. What if I told you this rivalry isn't just about basketball skills anymore? There's a shocking incident that's got everyone talking, and it might change how we see the WNBA. Let's talk about what happened.
Looking up a stat, I don't know if you know this or not, you probably do, knowing you, because you don't miss much. Caitlin Clark has personally received 17% of the flagrant fouls called.
5 of those fouls of 32 have been on Caitlin Clark. That's where we get the 17% from. She didn't cry. She didn't quit. She got up. She shook it off. She hasn't said anything in a press conference. No matter how good, how fast, how athletic, how high you jump, you can never catch up with the pace of the ball.
During a playoff game, D.I. Carrington took things way too far. She poked Caitlin Clark in the eye. Not just a little tap, but hard enough to give Clark a black eye. That's not normal basketball, folks. It's like Carrington forgot she was playing a game and decided to start a fight instead. But wait, it gets worse. After the game, Carrington went on Instagram and started laughing about Clark's injury. Can you believe that? A pro player mocking another player's pain. That's not just bad sportsmanship, it's downright mean. Here's where things get really crazy. This isn't a one-time thing. Clark's been getting hit with flagrant fouls left and right. Get this, 17% of all the flagrant fouls in the WNBA this season have been against Clark. That's almost 1 in 5. It's like there's a big target on her back and everyone's taking shots.
Came out a few weeks ago that said Caitlin Clark received 17% of the WNBA's flagrant fouls this season, and 80% of those flagrant fouls were committed by the Chicago Sky against Caitlin Clark League. And that's what a lot of players and coaches said about Caitlin Clark and about the rookie class coming into the league, is that that was going to be something that they would need to adjust to. They would need to adjust to the physicality of this league. So there have been cheap shots, there have been hard fouls, there have been other plays that haven't even been called flagrant fouls, but when you have the face of your league getting nearly 20% of all flagrant fouls called against her, that is an issue. And
Rebecca Lobo, a WNBA legend, noticed something weird. She said Clark's getting defended differently than any other rookie. It's not just tight defense, it's aggressive play that's crossing the line. More flagrant fouls against her than anyone else? That's not normal, that's personal. And it's not just the players who are noticing. Charles Barkley, never one to hold back, went off about this. He said these ladies cannot have vetted this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried.
Not calling some of these fouls and not cracking down on some of these cheap shots and hard fouls that are so excessive, not only against Caitlin Clark, but against other players as well. People to be more excited in players other than Caitlin Clark. People want to see a fast-paced, high-scoring, long-range shooting game from these women. People should know right off the bat, it shouldn't be the first round of the playoffs that players think that they can still do this kind of thing to Caitlin Clark, to Angel Reese.
Ouch! When Charles Barkley's saying you messed up, you know it's bad. This isn't just about Caitlin anymore. It's about the whole WNBA. People are starting to ask questions. Is this how we treat our new stars? Are players so jealous they'd rather hurt someone than let them shine? It's got experts using words like unacceptable and calling for stricter penalties. Roz Gold-Onwoo, another WNBA expert, didn't mince words. She called Carrington's foul inappropriate and premeditated. That's a fancy way of saying Carrington planned to hurt Clark. It's not just a bad call in the heat of the moment. It's something worse. You know what's really sad? She said she thinks players are getting away with stuff against her that they wouldn't try on anyone else.
Superstars are going to get a special whistle, and they should get a special whistle, protecting their one superstar who brought in more eyeballs than anyone else has ever done in the league. She should have a special whistle. Calls like this should be made, should be reviewed, because at the end of the day, it's not just the sport, it's the entertainment of the sport, and you need to protect your superstars, and the WNBA has not done well this entire season.
Imagine being a rookie, living your dream, and feeling like the whole league is out to get you. That's gotta be tough. The drama on the court is just the tip of the iceberg. You think you know why Clark's getting all this heat? Think again. There's a silent battle raging in the WNBA, and it's about way more than just who's the best player. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, race.
And so I just assume that all the social justice, racial justice warrior people would be up in arms and be like, hey, we got to call balls and strikes here. Caitlin Clark has made this league relevant, and this deranged bigot, and I say that in all sincerity.
The WNBA is mostly black players, but Caitlin Clark, she's white, and that's causing some serious tension. Ellen Storowski, a sports media professor, says it straight up. There's no doubt and there's no question that there is a racial dynamic in all of this. Here's where it gets complicated. Clark's not just any rookie. She's a marketing goldmine. She's got the skills, sure, but she's also got something else. She stands out. In a league where most players are black, Clark's whiteness makes her different, and that difference is making her a hot commodity. But here's the thing, all that attention on Clark, it's not sitting well with everyone. Some people are saying black players in the WNBA don't get nearly as much love from the media, even when they're killing it on the court. It's like Clark's getting all the spotlight and other players are left in the shadows. Charles Barkley, never one to hold back, calls it like he sees it.
The Caitlin Clark situation where Kennedy Carter side hipped her, basically checked her with a side hip move and whatever, knocking her to the ground. One of the things that I highlighted was that Caitlin Clark's the golden goose. She happens to be a terrific talent who's white and very, very marketable. It's all justifiable because there were people that were pounding the pavement and going through so much to help elevate the WNBA's profile long before Caitlin Clark ever came along, and yet were denied that level of recognition.
He says the way some WNBA players are treating Clark is just petty jealousy. He's not happy about it, saying, these ladies cannot have Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. Ouch. When Charles Barkley's calling you out, you know it's bad. But it's not just about jealousy. It's about feeling left out, feeling like your hard work isn't getting noticed. Imagine busting your butt in the league for years, only to have this new kid come in and steal all the attention. That's gotta sting, right? And here's where it gets really messy. Some people are saying the WNBA has a culture problem. problem. It's not just about Clark, it's about how players treat each other, period. There's talk of hostility, of players not showing enough sportsmanship. It's like the league's got growing pains, and they're showing up in a big way with Clark. Think about it. Clark's not just fighting for her place on the court, she's fighting against a whole system that's not sure how to handle her. She's different, she's popular, and that's shaking things up. Some players love it, some hate it, but nobody can ignore it. So what does this mean for the WNBA? It's like they're at a crossroads. Do they embrace Clark and the attention she brings, or do they worry about how that affects other players? It's not an easy balance to strike. And here's the kicker. This isn't just about Clark anymore. It's about the future of the WNBA. How they handle this situation could set the tone for years to come. Will they address the racial dynamics head on? Will they find a way to celebrate new stars without dimming the light of others? These are big questions, and the answers could change the game forever. Just when you thought the WNBA drama couldn't get any hotter, Caitlin Clark turns up the heat, but not how you'd expect. Instead of firing back at her critics, she's got a different game plan, and it's shaking up the league in ways nobody saw coming. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's playing chess. While everyone's waiting for her to crack under pressure, she's busy proving them wrong. How? By letting her game do the talking. Clark's not wasting time on social media drama or locker room gossip. She's too busy breaking records and selling out arenas. You know what's crazy? Clark's jersey sold out faster than you can say rookie sensation.
WNBA Player of the Week. There have only been 40 triple-doubles in the history of the WNBA. Cheryl Swoops recorded the first WNBA triple-double during the 1999 season, while Caitlin Clark logged the most recent triple-double earlier this week. She now has 102 on the season and is 19 away from Diana Taurasi in second place and 26 away from UNESCO of the New York Liberty. She ain't beating Asia Wilson for the MVP, but she's beating Angel Reese for the Rookie of the Year. That's a wrap. That's over. And props to Angel Reese, who's had a good year, by the way.
Games are being moved to bigger venues just to fit all her fans. It's like she's got her own gravitational pull, bringing in fans by the thousands. And here's the kicker. She's doing it all while keeping her cool. Imagine being in Clark's shoes. You're getting roughed up on the court, mocked on social media, and singled out by veterans. Most rookies would be shaking in their sneakers. But Clark, she's shrugging it off like it's no big deal. She's not just playing the game, she's changing it.
Oh, you knew they were going to come for you. You had to know that. Now, to the degree that they're doing so, I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from. You're at a decisive advantage because they made the mistake of letting you know who they are, whoever those people are. That's not the case with all. It's not the case with most. But those who screech the loudest get the most attention sometimes. And that's what the worst of cynics and critics do.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Clark's not just changing how rookies handle pressure, she's changing how the whole league operates. The WNBA's got a choice to make. Do they crack down on unsportsmanlike conduct, or do they let the players sort it out themselves? Right now, it looks like they're taking the hands-off approach. But with Clark drawing so much attention, that might not fly for long. Fans are calling for stricter penalties. They want to see fair play, not foul play. And Clark, she's at the center of it all, whether she likes it or not. Don't think for a second that Clark's letting this get to her head. She's keeping it professional, focusing on her game, and letting her stats speak for themselves. It's like she's got blinders on, blocking out all the noise and drama. And that focus, it's paying off big time. Here's the thing, Clark's success isn't just good for her, it's good for everyone. Martina Navratilova, tennis legend, put it best. Caitlin Clark is helping all of them, now and in the long run. How's that for a plot twist? The rookie everyone's trying to knock down might just be the one lifting the whole league up. Think about it. More fans means more money. More money means better salaries, better facilities, better everything. Clark's not just scoring points, she's scoring opportunities for every player in the league.
Reese addressed the media following that controversial technical foul on her teammate, Kennedy Carter, who shoved Caitlin Clark. Today, the WNBA rescinded the second technical upon further review, according to a league source, which does not mean much at this point in my estimation. Reese made it clear that fans are watching women's basketball not because of, quote, one player, but because of her as well.
Talk about a team player, huh? But let's be real, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. Clark's facing challenges that no rookie should have to deal with. The aggression on the court, the hostility off it, it's enough to make anyone want to throw in the towel. But Clark? She's not just surviving, she's thriving. Caitlin Clark's journey in the WNBA isn't just about one player anymore. It's shaking up the whole league. Think about it. A rookie comes in, faces all this drama, and still dominates? That's not normal. It's making everyone ask some big questions about how the WNBA treats its stars. So what's next? Will the league crack down on unsportsmanlike behavior, or will they let players duke it out on their own? It's like the WNBA is at a crossroads, and Clark's right in the middle of it all. Here's the thing, Clark's not just changing the game, she's changing minds. She's showing that you can face the heat and still come out on top. It's like she's writing a new playbook for how to handle pressure in pro sports. And who knows, maybe her resilience will inspire a whole new era of sportsmanship in the WNBA. Now that would be a real game changer.